So in the last video, we had a look at C1, and in this video, we're going to be covering F1 and F2. I can find the mean of a small data. So we've got key information here. To find the mean, step 1, add up all the numbers. Step 2, divide by how many numbers there are. So pause the video here so that you can write this information down somewhere that you can keep and refer to every time that we're going to be looking at a question involving the mean. Here we've got a data set to find the mean. So we've got 4, 5, 6 and 1. So step 1, to find the mean, we must add up all of the numbers in our data set. So we're going to add up 4, 5, 6 and 1. And once we add up all of these numbers, we're then going to get a total of 16. Then we need to use the table again to find step 2. So we divide by how many numbers there are. So in this case, we're going to do 16 divided by 4, which is equal to 4. So we're dividing by 4 because there are 4 numbers in our data set. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 numbers. So that's why we're dividing by 4. And finally, remember we're asked to find the mean. So we're going to write down mean equals 4 to show that we're answering the question and relating it back to the question. And that's what you need to do for this type of question that you've got. Here's a question for you to try. Pause the video here. Here's the solutions. Make sure that you self-assess your work. Let's have a look at a different type of question. So we are asked to find the mean of the following data set. So we've got 2, 7, 3, 2 and 6. Referring back to the key information table, to find the mean, step 1, we need to add up all of the numbers. So we're going to add up 2, 7, 3, 2 and 6. Once we add up all of those numbers, we're going to get a total of 20. Then for step 2, we're going to divide by how many numbers there are. So in this case, we've got 5 numbers. So we're going to be dividing 20 by 5. And when we do 20 divided by 5, we're going to get 4. Finally, to relate it back to the question, we're then going to write down mean equals 4. And then we're done with the question. Here's a question for you to do. Pause the video here. Here's the solutions. Make sure that you self-assess your work. And that's the end of F1, and we're now ready to move on to F2. I can find the mean of larger data sets. So we've got a data set here, 12, 17, 13, 12, 16 and 14. And we need to find the mean of this data set. So number 1, referring back to our key information table, we need to add up all of the numbers. So when we add up all the numbers, we're going to get a total of 84. Once we've done that, step 2 is to divide by how many numbers there are. So we're going to do 84 divided by 6 because there are 6 numbers in our data set. So that's going to give us 14. That means our mean is going to be equal to 14 once we relate it back to the question. Method is the same, but we've just got more numbers to deal with. Here's a question for you to try. Pause the video here. Here's the solutions for the first 3 questions. Make sure to self-assess your work. And here's solutions for the extension. Make sure to self-assess your work. And that's the end of F2, and that's the end of what we will be doing today. So we've completed both F1 and F2 in this video. Here's our beat the clock for today. What does the mean do? Then you need to find the mean of the following 2 questions. 5 houses on a street are sold in 2016. They sell for the following prices. Calculate the mean price. Mr. Holland gives his class a test. The results are as follows. Calculate the mean mark and then how many students score above the mean mark. Now remember, above means that they need to get higher than the mean mark that you get in part A. So for the last couple of questions, I'm aware that the numbers are really big, so you are allowed to use the help of a calculator, and that is absolutely fine. For these type of questions, make sure that you're showing all of your working out at all times. Make sure that you're showing your processes, and finally, writing down the mean equals. Again, spend maximum of 12 minutes and use the help of a timer to time yourself for these questions. Pause the video here. Here's the solutions. Make sure that you self-assess your work. So for the first question, that would have been a C1 type of question. If you got part A correct, that would have been an F1 type of question. And the rest of the questions below is a F2 type of question. So the mean for this question over here at the bottom was 62.3%. And 6 students scored above the mean mark. So you'll notice in red, I've crossed out all of the numbers that are below 62.3%, and we're only keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which are over the mean. So that means 6 students scored above the mean mark. That's the end of the video.